We had this gain of nearly 400 points. Huge start to the second quarter.
Today, guess what happens? The Fed chairman talks. Well, he used the R word. That's the problem. He said recession, but in the context of saying he still doesn't think we're in it, but who knows? We're in a slowdown, and that's what happened to the market. All the indices are down, except for that Russell 2000, which is still a little bit in the plus side. But again, the question is how much of what Bernanke said affected the markets today.
Could the markets really be shocked anyway? 1 million people have been saying that we're either very close to or perhaps dipping the toe into the recession. But as the Senate strikes a deal to help the ailing housing industry, we're looking at stocks that seem to be turning to the red. Now, here to make sense of all of this is our all-star panel once again. And David Darst, I'll throw this to you once again. Of course, David Darst of Morgan Stanley.
Nice to see you, Liz.
Why do we have an up day of 400 points and then another down day today?
Liz, this is your classic. It's a very emblematic of a very late stage market. This up 4% moves. We've had 3 of them now. March 17th may very well have been the low. The market is in a classic multiple personality disorder kind of phase right now, in which one day the system's going to break, and the next day it looks like we've passed the worst, and we're still not out of the woods. I have said that this is a patient in the hospital who's sick, and we're now on Jell-O. Okay, we've gone from liquid food. We're not on solid food yet.
That's a good sign.
That's
though.
right.
It's in the right direction.
It's in the right direction, but we're by no means, David and Liz, out of the woods right here. So this is a classic up 400, down 63. Up 63, down 300.
But I listened to Mike Norman, who was pretty bullish up until now, saying you sounded to be agreeing with Bernanke that, look, we've still got a few months, if not a full quarter and a half, to go before this thing turns around.
Look, it doesn't matter if Bernanke says we may be in a recession now. We got to think about the market. The market looks ahead. I think probably March 17th, as David said, you know, the Fed came in and did something revolutionary there. I think with that whole Bear Stearns and the J.P. Morgan said, look, we're putting a bid under the market no matter what here. And that turned us around. And we're going to have this, you know, market volatility a little bit back and forth. Look, the 391 points up the other day, that represented the best start to a first quarter in 70 years.
Yes, 70 years.
70 years. So you have a little bit of a pullback. I think we're getting better.
You're on, Brooke, when you see what we saw yesterday, which was that spectacular start to the second quarter, and then a pullback today, does that surprise you? Do you see that as just another bear market rally or the start of something new?
No, I mean, this is just an example of the uncertainty that's out there in the market. There's still a lot of good news, but probably even more bad news still to come. And the market's trying to sort this all up. This is the kind of volatility you would expect in a time of uncertainty. Nothing more.
I went back, Peter Schiff, 4 years in Factiva. I can mention Factiva because it's a Dow Jones product, and News Corp owns Dow Jones. The fact is, 4 years ago, you were touting $100 oil. This was a couple of years before Goldman Sachs said it. You turned out to be exactly right. Now, that's why folks have to listen to what you say. Nevertheless, you have been bearish for so long. What's going to turn you around?
I don't know. I mean, I think it's going to get a lot worse before I get turned around. But I'm still bullish on oil. I'm still bullish on, you know, gold is up $25 today. It was down yesterday. I'm still bullish on a lot of the foreign stock markets. I think there's a lot of legitimate growth overseas. But we still have a lot of problems. And, you know, I don't think the bottom was in March. I don't think the Bernanke put is going to hold the lows. I think the market is going to go lower. We've got some serious problems we have to deal with. When we finally deal with them, when it really does hit the fan, when the market does really wash out, then maybe I will be able to get bullish on U.S. assets and U.S. economy. But I think, unfortunately, that day is a long way in the future.
When you had a day like...